Hi everyone. What do you do in case of emergencies? Let's say if you have to rush to your native place for 2 months, or you feel so much emotional stress and mental stress at work, and you just feel like quitting your job, but you can't because you're tied to your monthly salary, or you're in fear of getting laid off from your employer. Now, these are things that we do not want to think about, but let's face it, life happens, and we need to be prepared for such situations. This is why it's the most crucial part of your financial, health, and mental security. So, the first part of this video will help you calculate what your emergency fund value should be, and then I will show you how to set it up step by step. Now, when your salary comes in month to month, here are some common expenses that you may have, and I've split them into two categories. Let's look at B. So it's things like groceries, or if you're single, then you may eat it from a mess or canteen nearby, and your transportation to and from work. And category C are things like restaurants, pubs, or delivering food to your home. Then buying clothes, shoes, going to the gym, spa, or subscribing to Netflix, going out to watch movies, and so on. Now, look at these two categories and can you tell me which one of these are truly essentials and which one is more of a lifestyle? So it is obvious that B comes under the essential category and C comes under the lifestyle. And think of this, when you are in a state of crisis and you just want to survive, then what are the things that are most essential? And how much do you think is the total value? How much do you need to survive? These are things like groceries, correct? And then, or food for you. And then maybe you want to take the bus. And for some of you, even in crisis mode, some things may be unavoidable, like if you have like a very essential habit or a hobby. And let's just put gym in the same category. Okay, so how much do you think on a monthly basis you will need for these essential items for your survival on a monthly basis? Now think about this, and you can also leave a comment if you think you know what this number is, what your survival number for essential stuff is. Now, the second thing that you do in such a crisis is you need a place to live. Where do you stay? Okay, so like I'm going to guess some of you can live with your parents, some of you may live with your friends, and some of you with a relative. Now, what are the expenses? If you're living with your parents, then maybe your expense is zero. And if you're living with friends or relatives, you might want to contribute some money to their rent, electricity bill, and so on. So let's put that as 5K. I'm taking like a very conservative amount for now, and this might change depending on your situations, but I'm just going to put that as 5K. Now, coming back to B and C, your essential for your survival, how much money do you need? And here again, I'm going to just put 5K. Okay, so what this helps us to understand what your survival number is. Or, okay, so I'm going to just write that down, survival number. And so that means that when you are not working and when you don't have to spend all this money on your lifestyle or things that are non-essential, then the money that you need is 5K plus 5K a month. So that's 10K. And from here, how do you calculate your emergency fund number? You basically multiply this by 6, and there you have 60K. So this is your emergency fund number, your emergency fund value. This is how much you will need to save up. Now, let's look at step by step how you can actually do it, and it's quite simple. So every month, on the day that your salary comes in, and it goes straight into your bank, correct? And from here, let's say this happens on the 1st of every month. Okay, so this is the 1st of Jan, and they send in money to your bank. What you need to do from here is basically on the same day, you will create a fixed deposit. Create an FD, and let's say you've made it for rupees 8,000. Now, I've created an example of someone who earns 44,000 rupees a month in another video, and you can watch that video here in this link. So on the first of every month, say that you are able to save 8,000 rupees in a fixed deposit. So your bank will have an online option to create a fixed deposit. So go to that and just create a fixed deposit on the first of the month. And once it is locked, you just leave it there. Do not touch it. And same next month, 1st of Feb, create another FD. Okay, and that is going to be 8,000 rupees, and so on. You can create this, just keep going on, and after a few months your total value will be 60,000 rupees. So this is when you have reached your emergency fund value. Sometimes it may be tempting, but don't touch it, because this is your emergency fund. You will notice that this actually gives you a lot of mental health and financial security. And in the case that an emergency actually arises, then you can break one of these FDs and use it up. Or you can group them like after a few months. So each FD can be made for a period of 6 months or 4 months and so on. And when it matures, you can, if you want, you can club them together. So put 2 or 3 FDs together, like 20,000, 20,000, 20,000. We have 3 separate FDs. So in case of an emergency, you don't have to break the whole single FD, and if you have it as 3 separate FDs, you can use any one. Now, unfortunately, there are some of us who like to buy stuff on impulse. So you have 10,000 rupees sitting in your account in an FD, and you suddenly have an impulse to buy something. Your friends tell you, hey, let's go on a trip, okay? Or you feel like you've seen these cool shoes and you just want to buy those shoes, or whatever it is, you just feel like you want to spend that money. Then if you realize that you're that type of person, then I have your answer at the end of this video. So just keep watching. I'm answering some commonly asked questions at the end of the video. And if you have built your emergency fund, keep it there. And congrats, you have passed savings level 1. Savings level 2 will be shared in the next few videos. Now, here are some common questions and thoughts from people around you or online that actually stop you from building your emergency fund. Save it as cash. See, it's about the mindset of seeing cash in your account, because sometimes just seeing cash in your account makes it so much easier to spend. So this is about creating a mindset, and that the money is locked away somewhere in a fixed deposit. And the other reason cash today is not the same cash after 1 year. Okay, 8,000 rupees that you can buy stuff with today, after 1 year, it is only valued at 7,500 rupees. But a fixed deposit will keep increasing in value. So it's moving at the rate of inflation. Your fixed deposit will break and you will lose the money that you earned. So why set it up as a fixed deposit? Well, there is some truth to that. I agree that yes, when you break a fixed deposit, you may be losing some money, but you're only losing a percentage of the interest you have earned. Okay, so it is not breaking the money that you have saved, because this is a more tried and tested way of saving money. This will actually build your habit of saving. And finally, this is the other big question or thought that you may have in your mind. When you have already some money saved and you really want to spend it on something, you just want to live your life, like, why am I spending money? Why am I saving money for a future, for an emergency that may not even arise? Like, I'm secure in my job. I'm happy now. And I want to be even more happier by spending it today on something, traveling, shoes, whatever. So you really want to use the money. So at this stage, I will not try to change your habits or your behaviors. I will only tell you to account for that. Because you already know that you have this habit, and sometimes it's very difficult to break from habits or behaviors, then have a separate savings just for that. What you will have to do is split your savings. So every month, instead of saving 8,000 rupees in your emergency fund, save only 6,000 or 5,000 in your emergency fund, and have a second way of saving money where you're putting 3,000 rupees just for this kind of mindset. If you think that you have this mindset every time, then you will have a separate fund only for this. So don't touch your emergency cash and let it keep growing in a fixed deposit. And for your impulsive spending habit, have another fund for that. So I hope this video helped you understand what an emergency fund is and how to save it step by step. Please start setting up your emergency fund from next month onwards. Thank you for watching.